Welcome to Stealth Prepper. Today we're delving into prepping on a budget. Learn how to prepare for anything without overspending. Stick around for essential tips and insider secrets to become a savvy prepper on a shoestring. Let's dive in. Hello everyone, we all know that life can be unpredictable, and it's only wise to be prepared for anything that comes our way. But let's face it, the challenge of prepping for potential emergencies and disasters can seem daunting, especially when resources are limited. The good news? You don't need a fortune to be prepared. Today, we're going to delve into the world of prepping on a budget. We'll cover the essential aspects from identifying realistic threats based on your location, to setting achievable goals, managing finances, maintaining health and wellness, and acquiring the necessary knowledge and skills. We'll also discuss how to build your inventory of gear and tools without overspending. Remember, it's not about having the most expensive equipment, but about smart and sustainable preparation. So if you're wondering how to navigate the world of prepping without breaking the bank, you're in the right place. The first step in prepping on a budget is setting clear priorities and goals. This isn't about stockpiling expensive gear or preparing for every possible catastrophe. It's about focusing on the threats that are most likely to impact you, given your location and circumstances. For example, if you live in a coastal area, hurricanes and floods might be a significant concern. Or, if you're in a city, you might worry more about power outages or civil unrest. So the first thing you need to do is to identify these threats. Make a list, rank them according to their likelihood. This is your priority list. Now it's time to assess your personal strengths and weaknesses. Be honest with yourself. Maybe you're great at fixing things, but you're not so good at cooking. Or perhaps you have a knack for navigation, but you're not physically fit. Recognize these strengths and weaknesses and use them to guide your preparation efforts. Next, set your goals. These can be short-term or long-term. A short-term goal might be to learn how to cook a meal using only shelf-stable ingredients. A long-term goal could be to improve your physical fitness. Remember, these goals should align with the threats you've identified and your personal strengths and weaknesses. But here's the key: don't let perfection be the enemy of good. You don't need to be the ultimate survivalist to be prepared. It's okay to start small and work your way up. Maybe today you learn how to start a fire, tomorrow you try cooking a meal over that fire, then the day after you practice doing it in the dark. It's these small, consistent efforts that build resilience and preparedness over time. Finally, remember this: your budget doesn't define your ability to prepare. It's not about how much money you have, it's about how you use it. So focus on your priorities, set realistic goals, and work towards them diligently. You'll be surprised at how much you can achieve with a little creativity and determination. By identifying your personal risks and setting goals, you're already taking the first step towards being a prepared individual. Finances can be a major hurdle when it comes to prepping, but it doesn't have to be. You see, it's all about reshaping our perspective on what it means to prepare. First off, let's talk about gadgets. The market is flooded with shiny high-tech survival gear that can easily drain your wallet. But do you really need that fancy water purifier that looks like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie? Probably not. We need to differentiate between needs and wants. The basics: food, water, shelter, those are your necessities. Anything beyond that is a luxury. So let's focus on the essentials. Now, where does financial advice fit into all of this? Well, just as you'd consult an expert for survival tips, it's wise to consider financial advice when planning your prepping budget. A financial advisor can help you strategize your spending and savings, ensuring that you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. But let's be real. Not everyone has access to a financial advisor, and that's okay. There are plenty of free resources online that can guide you on how to manage your finances effectively. And speaking of free resources, let's not forget the power of learning. Mastering skills such as cooking, gardening, or even basic carpentry can save you a ton of money in the long run. Instead of buying canned food, why not learn how to preserve your own? Rather than spending on packaged fire starters, why not learn to make them at home? The more self-reliant you become, the less you need to spend on pre-made store-bought items. Lastly, let's talk about resourcefulness. This is the key to prepping on a budget. It's about using what you have in unconventional ways. That old tarp in your garage? It could be a makeshift shelter. The glass jars from last night's dinner? They're perfect for storing dried goods. Remember, it's not about how much you spend, but how wisely you spend. So, let's be smart and strategic with our prepping. After all, it's our survival we're talking about. Prepping isn't just about gear and supplies. It's also about being physically and mentally fit. This is a universal truth, and it can't be overstressed. When we talk about health and wellness in the context of preparedness, We're talking about a comprehensive approach that involves your body, mind, and spirit. Think about it. If a disaster strikes, you can have all the supplies in the world. But if you're not physically fit to endure the challenges or mentally strong to face the adversities, those supplies won't do you much good. Physical fitness is not just about brute strength or endurance, it's about flexibility, agility, and stamina. And mental well-being is not just about intelligence or knowledge, it's about resilience, adaptability, and emotional stability. So, how do you ensure you're physically fit? Well, it's about leading a healthy lifestyle, incorporating regular exercise into your routine, and maintaining a balanced diet. It's about being able to run if you need to, climb if you have to, and endure if it's required. It's about building your body's capacity to withstand stress and recover quickly. But that's just half the battle won. Mental well-being is equally, if not more, important. It's about building mental strength to face adversities, adapt to new circumstances, and make sound decisions under pressure. It's about developing emotional resilience to manage stress, anxiety, and fear. Knowledge and skills are the foundation of any good prepper's arsenal. The ability to adapt, learn, and apply new skills is a cornerstone of preparation. It's not just about stocking up on canned goods and water filters, it's about understanding the world around you and how you can work with it to survive. Continuous learning is key. Whether it's a book on edible plants in your region, an online tutorial on basic first aid, or a hands-on workshop on how to build a shelter, every bit of knowledge you acquire is another tool in your prepper toolbox. And these tools don't take up any physical space. Don't shy away from learning opportunities. They can come in many forms, and you never know which skill or piece of information will make the difference when the chips are down. So, keep reading, keep learning, keep practicing. Invest in your skills and knowledge. They can be your greatest tools in a crisis. No prepper's kit is complete without the right gear and tools. That's a common saying among survivalists, and it's not without merit, but here's the thing. Preparation isn't about hoarding a mountain of gadgets. Instead, it's about building a strong foundation. Imagine you're constructing a house. You wouldn't start with the roof, would you? Of course not. You'd start with the foundation, the bedrock that supports everything else. The same principle applies to preparedness. Before diving into specialized equipment, focus on the essentials: water, food, and cooking gear. Water is life. Without it, we wouldn't last more than a few days. That's why it's critical to have a reliable means of purifying water. A simple, cost-effective option is a portable water filter. They're lightweight, easy to use, and can purify hundreds of gallons of water. Food is next on the list. Freeze-dried meals are a popular choice due to their long shelf life and ease of preparation. But don't overlook the humble canned good. They're affordable, readily available, and provide a variety of meal options. Now let's talk about cooking essentials. A camping stove can be a lifesaver when you're without power. They're compact, relatively inexpensive, and can run on a variety of fuels. Don't forget a good set of pots and pans too. You'll need something to cook those canned goods in after all. Once you have these basics covered, you can start looking at more specialized equipment. Things like multi-tools, first aid kits, and survival radios can be gradually added to your stash. Remember to prioritize based on your needs and not just what looks cool or high-tech. Start small, think big. It's not about the size of your gear pile, but the quality and usefulness of what's in it. As you grow more experienced and confident in your abilities, your kit will grow with you. It's a journey, not a race. Remember, it's not about having the most gear, but having the right gear. Prepping on a budget may seem daunting, but it's absolutely possible. As we've seen throughout our discussion, preparation doesn't have to be a costly affair. It's about setting realistic priorities and goals based on your unique situation and using them as your compass. Managing finances effectively is key. Focus on acquiring the necessities before splurging on fancy gadgets. You'd be surprised at how much you can save by learning new skills like cooking and growing your own food. Remember, your health and wellness are just as important. Physical fitness and mental resilience can make all the difference when faced with adversity. Developing knowledge and skills are crucial. Use resources at your disposal to learn and grow. And finally, when it comes to gear and tools, remember it's about foundational readiness rather than accumulating stuff. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you found this information helpful. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more survival tips and tricks. Stay safe and be prepared.